Today's topic, the X Factor. Let me tell you something about the X Factor. It has gone so downhill the past 2 weeks, it's irrelevant. Alright, I was such a big fan of X Factor, it was unreal. I was such a big fan. But after the Michael Jackson week, I have to admit, I was starting to hate on the X Factor. I was starting to hate on the X Factor because they sent home one of my two favorite people in the competition, Astro and Drew. Astro and Drew. Why in the world with freaking why would you send home Astro and Drew, period? It's ridiculous. Okay? But I guess it was just so ridiculous that after Drew's elimination, all of a sudden, the whole damn Twitter world started freaking out and sending Paula Abdul and Nicole Scherzinger death threats. Death threats! Like, are you kidding me? Why would you even send death threats? I mean, I was mad at Paula and Nicole too, but I'm not going to be sitting up here on my computer typing to Paula and Nicole saying, oh, I wish you fall off a bridge, or I wish you get run over by a car, hit by a bus, I hope you burn. No. Let me tell you something, death threats are just inappropriate and unnecessary. You don't need that. Like, seriously, like, I have a life. I'm not going to be sending death threats. And do you guys honestly think, so the people that did send death threats to Paul and Nicole, you know who you are. Don't hide yourself. Do you guys honestly think that sending death threats is gonna have Paul and Nicole bum rushing over to Simon, begging him to send Drew back in the competition? No. Whether you guys like it or not, Drew is gone. She's never coming back. You need to get over it just like I got over it. Alright? But on another note, see, this is where I started to agree with America on hating Paula and Nicole. I didn't send them any death threats, but I started hating on them. I started hating on them because another one of my favorites left the competition. Rachel Crow. Rachel Crow! Little huggable mini Beyonce Rachel Crow left the competition. Are you kidding me? And this is where I blame Paula and Nicole. I blame Nicole. First of all, Rachel was up against Marcus Canty. And Marcus Canty has been in the bottom two for 3 weeks straight, and he's still there. Which I don't understand. I don't know what's going through America's head right now. I really don't. But, like, okay, here, Nicole is just sitting there looking like, oh, who do I choose? I don't know who to choose. Oh my god, tears are coming down my face. Duh. She doesn't know who to choose. And then Paula is over here whispering next to her saying, just go to deadlock. And Nicole goes to deadlock. Like, seriously, Nicole, Paula is not your conscience. She's not your mother. You don't have to be listening to her. And here you are, you're listening to Paula, you went to deadlock, and look where the results came to. Mini Beyonce left the competition, and Marcus Canty is in the semifinals. Tell me that there's something wrong with that. Because I would like to know. And you know what? Paula is semi-responsible for her elimination. Point blank. It's ridiculous. Nicole should have realized that Marcus Canty needed to go home. America does not want Marcus Canty. Speaking of Marcus Canty, his mentor is LA-Reid. And LA-Reid, your music producing island Def Jam itself needs to realize that America does not want your boy Marcus in the X Factor anymore. He's old news. Nobody wants him anymore. Okay? You just need to realize that. Quit being a man of principle, as you says, and send your boy packing. He's a church singer, okay? He's not X Factor material. It's ridiculous. The final 4 people of the X Factor are Chris Renee, Melanie Amaro, Josh Krajic, and that stupid Marcus Canty. Now, the only reason I'm still watching The X Factor is because I'm Team Simon all the way. And the only person that he has left is Melanie Amaro. Now, all you Melanie Amaro fans, especially the ones on Twitter, I follow a couple of them, we need to put our heads together. We need to vote to vote. Every person in America knows that Melanie Amaro is going to win The X Factor. That's a given. And to make sure she wins, we need to vote to vote to vote. We need to take up the entire 2 hours and just vote for Melanie Amaro. We need to vote until our fingers cramp up, until our computer explodes. Just whatever it takes to make sure that she has enough votes to win the X Factor. She is $5 million material. She has the X Factor. She has everything. She deserves to win. So everyone, watch the X Factor tonight at 8 o'clock for the semifinals, and make sure you guys vote for Melanie Amaro right after. Make sure you go on the website, get the voting on, and just vote for her till you can't vote no more. Okay? Because this whole thing was X Factor losing a whole bunch of good competitions for that stupid Marcus Canty, which I hope he goes home this week. And if he does not go home this week, I'm just gonna blow my top off. I'm seriously this close to sending them a 72-page strongly worded letter for the X Factor. It's ridiculous. This is all I have to say on the subject. I'm just so irritated. It's just, ugh.